I got a new razor. I'm excited. Oh, I'm just that glossy, actually. This is the beard oil. Shiny. You know what I need today? It's already better. Wow, they are definitely lighter. Not bad. I'm Andrew Witter, and let's talk marketing. Okay. It's no new piece of news that what was working in 2024 just might not work in 2025. For example, the TikTok ban. That's known that, although temporary for now, was, I think, a wake up for a lot of people to realize their audience that is so important to them for their business can, on a digital platform, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, can change hands, can become banned, can become a threat to national security, whatever. It's up in the air. It is really not up to our decision making as a consumer and as a business owner. Like, it just kind of happened, and we're like, all right. This to me is the perfect opportunity to niche down. With that, I mean find your super fans, understand your true fans, understand your customers that just absolutely love your product and service. Think about those people and understand there are so many different ways to connect with those fans that are not on a big digital platform. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, Google. There's many different ways to connect with people and to be there, to give value and to provide value at those places. Very simple, very basic. I think now is the time to take that attention and move it to a place to where it can be, a more close-knit community. Here's another example. I was reading an article the other day from the Stack Marketer newsletter talking about how the cost per click is rising. For example, for Google, their cost per click has risen by 7% in the last year, and Microsoft's by 11%. Yet the click-through rate remains about the same. Overall, Google's search spend is up 10% year on year, and Microsoft's has climbed by 7%. This is just another sign that demand is going up. The price for the supply is going down, in the sense that there's regulations, some companies are trying to find ways to, of course, add more offerings to their ad interface and how you can utilize their data. So I think there's going to be continued growth there as a company. It's in their best interest to create more supply. But demand, I think, is outpacing supply dramatically. So just know that, sure, if you want to play your regular game you played last year, it's going to cost you a lot more than it did the previous years. So this is another great example. Find a way to niche down digitally. You can create your own digital social platform these days. That is not that difficult at all. Many people are doing it, and we're going to find more and more social platforms are going to rise that are going to be niche based. Find what those are. There are probably some out there for you and your customers, your demographic, in your community. Be there and be a voice there, like you are a voice on maybe the sub parts of these large platforms. But if you're able to diversify on that scale, just like a good finance portfolio or investment portfolio rather, if you find ways to mitigate risk by diversification, in the long term, you'll be set up for success. So I recommend to anyone talking to me now, and the things I'm doing with my brands, is we're finding ways to be in these sub niches for people. And here we're able to interact with people a lot more. The engagement's a lot more meaningful. And find what that means for you and your brand. There's, like I said, many ways you can even create your own space, or you can utilize one that's already out there. I don't really think they're going to take down web hosting or Gmail anytime soon. Another thing that's been on the rise, man, is AI content. Holy cow. So much AI content is coming out, and I don't think it's bad. I think it's great. It's going to require us to really double down on our own uniqueness, because something that's just run-of-the-mill okay piece of artwork is now going to be competed with a robot that can think and produce millions of times faster than humans can. So there's that sense of maybe the artwork and that sort of thing. If you're an artist, and that's something to think about. There's now greater accessibility to art and to music, which I believe is good in some ways, but also will require us to find new compensation models, I believe, for artists. And it will require us to really understand this and monitor the AI landscape with content, because you really don't know now whose content is AI or real or fake or what. And so it's going to get very muddy. So for that, though, if you double down on your own uniqueness, you'll be irreplaceable even to a robot. I truly believe that. As for just like regular marketing tips for running blogs, doing general copywriting, everyone, for the most part at this point, before AI, can tell when something seems robotic. So I believe using AI-generated content just solely is going to hurt your visibility, and there's science now to back that up. There's science coming out of Uber Suggest. They have a huge data set, and they talk heavily on AI generated content just not performing very well because people catch it and people don't want to read it. They think, oh, this is just, even if there's good information on there, you're going to skim through it. You can sense when something is, someone put time and energy into an article. So for me, the way I utilize AI, it's a great sounding board, but you've really got to add a human touch. You've got to add some human touch there. And I've written whole articles before, and I'll feed the whole thing to AI, and I'll then go through that article again and do an immense amount of edits. Although the AI, in that case, when I wrote that particular article, it helped me, probably saved me a good, few hours, because it really helped me get to that kind of final iteration a lot quicker versus iterating myself over and over and over again. I was able to kind of save myself a few iterations on my time just by taking 5 minutes to copy and paste an article, an outline of an article, and then write all the prompts and any other information you want. And you should wait for 30 seconds for it to spit out an article. It's a great way to utilize AI, I think. I don't think you're going to really get a lack of, the return is going to be good. You're going to be able to put up more content while still adding the human touch, and knowing, know your audience, knowing what's hitting, what's not hitting. You'll be able to make some adjustments there, but you're going to see more impressions just by your sheer larger output. And you'll probably be able to have more specific and up-to-date content as well if you're able to continually be on the cutting edge using a piece of technology like that. Although I think all this is great, but something that is needed right now is not necessarily technical changes, because technical changes always happen. Every year, this we're going to shift here, and then it's going to shift there. I really encourage, if you want to have a absolute crushing ROI, return on investment, whether it's time, money, whatever, on your marketing, advertising, PR initiatives, you've got to take the mindset of radical optimism. You absolutely have to take the mindset of radical optimism. And you're like, that seems like a little bit much for just some advertising. And sure, it might be. I think if you adopt a radically optimistic mindset, you will see a path every time. You will find a way every time. So having this mindset shift that there is a possibility, oh man, everything's getting more expensive. Oh man, TikTok's gonna be banned. Oh man, AI content, right? If you're leaning like that, everything's, oh man, it's gonna get harder and harder. You'll keep going down that way, right? But we take a mindset of radical optimism that there's a wonderful opportunity with this new emergence of innovation and technology for me and my brand to succeed at capabilities 10x what they have in the past. You've got to have a radically optimistic mindset. And I believe that for you. And it can be in the moment of just a small shift, a minute shift in 1, 2, or 3 degrees of perspective, continually made over time. You'll end up in a entirely new destination.